Good day, everyone. I'm going to give you a review on two different, they're smaller sized, I guess, portable water pumps. What to look for, what to expect, and again, I'm not paid for any of this, so these are real opinions, my real thoughts, and I hope this helps you out in your decision making. Now, I have a Redline here and a Burcam. They're both 1/6 horsepower, as you can see. Yet, one claims 1,300 gallons per hour and one claims only 740 gallons per hour. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, for these two pumps in particular, just ignore the stats on that. It doesn't matter. They're almost meaningless. It's all about a whole bunch of different factors that who knows. It's so variable. But anyways, the Redline, it's an RLMP 1/6. And the Burcam is a 300 506S. Now, both of them are capable of draining water down to a very low level. This one claims 3/16 and this one is 1/8 of an inch. So, they're very similar. But let's talk about the main differences here. Now, the Redline, I believe this one, it's made in Taiwan, which is fine. I don't mean to be, discriminatory, but I try not to buy things from China, and I prefer anything from North America. And when I say North America, I mean USA and Canada. Now, the Burcam, they put a lot of stuff on here about Canada, a Canadian company. I guess it's a Canadian company. And they'll put stuff on there like printed in Canada. But for whatever reason, I could not find anywhere where this was actually made. So there we go, Taiwan and who knows where, I don't know. Now, the Redline pump, it claims that it has a screened bottom intake. Now, it doesn't have a screened bottom intake. This one does have a screened bottom intake. I'll tell you about that in a second and why that's good, and there's actually some good points on this too. Both have some points. Now, this one, the Redline, it's basically you have to be in attendance when you're using this pump. If you're draining water and if it runs out of water, it's just going to keep running. And if there's no water, it's going to burn out. Now, this one, it has a float system on it where you don't have to monitor it so much. There's reasons why you might have to monitor it. We'll get into that real quick. But basically, when it's finished sucking up the water, it will turn off on its own, so you don't have to worry about it normally. And again, the flow rates, ignore those when you're buying these pumps. They don't mean anything. These are both 1/6 horsepower, so there you have it. I'm going to show you the actual pumps. They're right here. So this is the Redline. I've used it a lot. Well, actually, I've used this one the same amount as I have used the Burcam. Now, the Burcam, as I said, it has the float system on it, so it works great because you don't have to worry about it. When the water's, when it pulls all the water out, it'll shut off on its own. Very good feature. Remember I was talking about the screened bottom. This one claimed to have a screened bottom, but it doesn't. It has these intakes. There's nothing on the bottom. It's not a screened bottom. This one actually has a screened bottom. That's a screened bottom, which is, there's good points and bad points on both. This one, it won't, it's less likely if there's small materials to get plugged up, which is a good point. It will pull some materials through there and you don't have to worry about it so much. This one, if you're using it in a really dirty environment, yes, it will plug up eventually, but at the same time, it's also protecting the pump itself, the impeller or whatever you want to call it. You just have to if you're working in really bad conditions, you'll have to go and make sure this is cleared out. But honestly, I think this is a better idea right here at the moment. Initially, I was a little bit skeptical. I was thinking, oh, well, it's just such a small screen. I'm going to have to babysit it. But if you're working in clean water, this is great because it's going to drain stuff out. Turn off, all good. If you're working in really dirty water, yeah, you might have to babysit it a little bit and go and check, but at least it's not going to pull something in there that's going to mess it all up. So it's a plus for this one. And of course, the automatic shutoff. Now, the reason I made this video, because I've had both of these pumps. This one did work well, and actually, and unfortunately, they're not really serviceable. I tried to fix it. I mean, you can take some parts off, but you can't really get in there and do anything. There's sealed units. This one, it seized up. It's very hard. It stopped working, basically. I took off the bottom and I could barely turn the impeller. I don't know what's going on with it. So I replaced it with this and the Bercam. And this one's been working in pretty harsh conditions. I've been temporarily using it to pull out water. I'm on a well system, so if I do wash downstairs, I put this in my sink to pull the water out. We don't have magical drains when you're out in the country, so you have to pull this water out and up. So that's what I've been using it for, and it's been working really great. I don't have to worry about it. This one I had to run downstairs when every wash cycle and plug it in, unplug it when it was finished. I had to babysit it. So I really like that about the Bercam compared to this Red Lion without a automatic shut off. So generally speaking, I mean, both pumps are good. This one did fail, but they have 2-year warranties. I don't want to diss this for failing. I don't know, like, time's gonna tell with this one. I need to get a few more hours on it, but so far it's been working great. And I guess to end off the video, I mentioned about the hose or the flow rates on these. This one claims it's like, what was it, 1,300 gallons per hour. This one says it's only 740. I'm gonna tell you right now, meaningless. This little guy here pumps just as well as this one, and the biggest factor is the hose that you hook onto them. Now, these are both pretty much, I guess the normal consumer is going to use a garden hose on them. Now, there's different sizes of garden hoses, and probably the biggest factor on the flow rate is the diameter of garden hose you use. So most people, when you buy a garden hose, and most garden hoses, they're about they're 5/8 inch diameter hoses, and the other hoses you can get are 3/4 inch. Now, if you're doing a lot of pumping, or if you really want a really good flow, get the 3/4 inch hose for them. It will be the same screw-on size and everything. But the inside diameter of the hose is it's much better. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's like comparing like a 42 inch TV to a 52 inch. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a big number, or I don't know. I'm trying to give you some sort of guideline or whatever, but that's my point. Go with the bigger hose, go with the 3/4 inch if you're going to be doing some pumping. Those are the most common options. There's a few other ones for actually even a larger diameter hose, but generally speaking, people are going to use a garden hose on these. If you just have a little bit of work or you occasionally use it, just use a normal garden hose. But if you're going to be using it for some serious business, like emptying out maybe a large pool, or pumping water out of maybe a sump pit temporarily, go with the larger hose. Way better. And there you have it. That's my thoughts. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and yeah, either one you'll be happy with, but as I said, this one did fail. I don't want to bash it too much, though. It did work well when it was working, so this one I probably need another few more months of operation to find out if it exceeds, what this one did. But so far this one has been working really well, and it's been used in, the conditions have been way more harsh for this one so far, and it's still working fine. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more. Please like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications.